Hello my dear children, how are you all? I hope you are all doing wonderfully well. So, I welcome you all to our second lesson in English. And what is our second lesson name? The King's Decision. What is the name? The King's Decision. So, my dear students, this is a story that is collected from Panchatantra. You know Panchatantra? So, Panchatantra is a compilation that was told to us by Vishnu Sharma. That's a different story. Panchatantra is supposed to be written by Vishnu Sharma. So, Vishnu Sharma, in order to educate the children of a king, he told all these stories. These stories give us a lot of moral sense, right? And moral sense develop our character, right? So sometime we will definitely discuss regarding the Panchatantra, but for now please understand that this is a very short story collected from the Panchatantra. And what is its name? The King's Decision. So in the olden days, countries were not there. There were small territories of land which were governed by a head, and that head was called as the king. So for every kingdom, that small territory of land was called as kingdom. For every kingdom there was a king. Now in our first warming up page, we have few adjectives. What are the adjectives? Please see. We have adjectives like selfish, okay, then we have generous, kind, brave, handsome, strong, helpful, prosperous, good leader, brutal, cruel, good judge, caretaker, punctual, intelligent, wise, hardworking. So these are the adjectives that describe a personality. Every person is made of some qualities, isn't it? So those qualities can be described with adjectives. Now in our warming up question, what is the task that is given to us? Circle the qualities that a king must possess. A king must possess. What is the meaning of possess? To have. What is the meaning of possess? To have. So what are the qualities according to you that a king should have, a king should possess? First one, selfish. Now, is this a positive word or a negative word? Sir, who is called as a selfish person? A person who always thinks of his own benefit is called as a selfish person. Do you think a king should be selfish? Does a king think only of himself? No. Selfishness is not a quality that a king should possess. Why? A king should look at all his subjects. A king should take care of all his subjects. There are rich people, there are businessmen, there are farmers, there are artisans, there are all sorts of people. So a king should be selfless. What is the opposite of selfish? Selfless. So selfish is not the quality a king should possess. Then what is the next adjective? Generous. Who is called as generous? Now look at this word, gen. In English language, the word gen means either to be born, janma. From the Sanskrit word janma, gen has come. So the other one is Greek gen. In Greek, gen means good, generous person, one who gives. So how does he give, sir? He gives wholeheartedly. He doesn't keep an account of what he is giving. Noble manner. He gives in a noble way. Such a kind of person is called generous. Yes, a king has to be generous. If somebody comes and asks for help, if somebody says, "Oh king, I am in need, please help me," the king should be able to help the subject more than he expects. So one who gives more than asked or is called as generous. So a king should be generous. Then should a king be kind? Yes, at times the king should be kind. Then, does a king need to be brave? Of course. A king should be brave. Why? The opponents, the enemies will fear to touch our territory, to touch our kingdom if the king is brave and bold. Handsome. Okay. Handsome. I don't think it's your point. You can tell whatever you want. Are good looks important for a king? I don't think so. A person with a good heart, if somebody is generous, if somebody is kind, if somebody is brave, naturally they will look handsome. It has nothing to do with the color, complexion or the looks. So I leave this choice to you. Handsome. Good leader? Yes. Caretaker? Yes. Strong? Yes. Helpful? Yes. Prosperous? Yes. A king should be prosperous. Prosperity means what? Full of riches, lot of money, lot of valuables. So a king should have prosperity. Then he should be a good judge. Yes. He should be hardworking. Yes. He should be intelligent. Yes. He should be wise. Of course. Who's called as a wise person? Sir, many people have knowledge. But if we don't know how to use our knowledge, the knowledge is of no value. We should know how to use our knowledge in a proper way. A person who has a very good sense of judgment, a person who knows how to utilize his knowledge in a right manner is called as a wise person. A king has to be wise. Then brutal? No, a king should not be brutal. What is the meaning of brutal? One who puts people to a lot of suffering, one who troubles people is called as a brutal. A king should never perform brutalities on his subjects. He should be kind. The opposite of kind is brutal here in this context. So my dear students, I think we have completed our warming up exercise. Okay, so we have seen what are the qualities that a king should possess and what are the qualities a king shouldn't possess. Okay, so from now on we have learnt a new word, possess. Instead of telling have, I want you to use the word possess. Okay, so possess means what? To have. Okay, right. So how many apples does he have? He has 3 apples in his possession. See, that's the beauty of language. When you learn a new word, put it to practice. Okay, so my dear students, now we have a very good interesting story coming up from Panchtantra. And what's the story? The king's decision. So, I request every one of you to look into the textbook, please. What we'll do is, we shall read the lesson together. Okay, we shall read the lesson together, then we will see our comprehension. So first, I'll read the complete lesson at once. Now, kindly look into the textbooks. It will only take 7 or 8 minutes, ma. So, be focused listener. Don't get diverted here and there. Take a textbook. Hold the textbook at a distance of 30 centimeters. Right? So, when you hold the textbook like this at a distance of 30 centimeters, it's very easy for us to read and you can catch many words at a time. I request you to use a pointer. When you are reading, always use a pencil as a pointer so that you are focused. And whenever you come across a new word or a difficult word, you can underline that word with the pencil. Okay? Now, shall I start? Take a deep breath. Exhale. Do it once again. Exhale. Open your eyes. Look at the book. Pay attention. Once upon a time, a lion lived in the forest. He was big and strong lion. He crowned himself the king of the forest. All the animals brought him gifts. He felt very happy, but also very greedy. The more he got, the more he wanted. A king must have courtiers, he thought. He wondered which of the animals would make the best courtiers. He called a fox and said to him, "People say you are wise and clever. I want you to be my advisor." "Thank you, Your Majesty," said the fox, bowing low. Then he called a leopard and said to him, "You are always alert and fast. You will be my bodyguard." The leopard agreed readily. He then called a crow and made him his messenger, since he could go to the places fast. The fox, the leopard and the crow promised that they would be loyal to the king and serve him well. The lion promised to protect them and provide them with food. The lion was happy with his new courtiers. They always obeyed him and did whatever he told them to do. They followed him wherever he went. They found animals for him to hunt. When he finished eating, he left the remains for them. So they always had enough food to eat. One day, the crow came and asked the king if he had ever tasted camel meat. The lion replied that he had never seen a camel. He asked the crow where they could get a camel. The crow thought for a while and said, "There is a desert some distance away. I flew over it some days ago and saw a camel there. He looked big and fat." The lion asked his other courtiers for their advice. The fox and the leopard knew nothing about deserts or camels, but they did not want the king to think they were less wise than the crow. So they said it was a good idea. The next morning, the four animals set off for the desert. After leaving the shady forest behind them and traveling for some time, they reached the desert. They felt hot and uncomfortable. After a while, the lion could not bear the heat any longer. He found it difficult to walk as the hot sand was scorching his paws. He was tired and thirsty too. "Stop!" he shouted. "I don't want camel meat. Let us go back to the forest." The forest was far behind them. The courtiers did not know how to take the exhausted lion back home. The leopard wanted to run away. The crow wanted to wait and watch. But the clever fox had a plan. He said, "Wait here, I'll bring help." He ran off into the desert and soon found the camel. So my dear students, I'll stop till here. So now let us try to understand whatever we have read. What did we read? Right? I hope you also have underlined the new words. What did we read, sir? Now, all the stories in Panchatantra begin with the very fascinating line, "Once upon a time." So, long ago, when we say once upon a time, we are referring to a time that is hundreds and thousands of years ago. So once upon a time, a lion lived in a forest. Now how is the lion described? The lion is described as big and strong. That is what makes the lion as the king of the forest. See, sir, elephant is the largest animal. Leopard is the fastest animal, right? But why is lion called as the king of the forest? Why not elephant? Why not leopard? Or why not any other animal? Animal, don't say animal, I is silent. Why not any other animal? It is because lion takes the responsibility. Strength everybody has. Sir, when you work for your own self, you become selfish. Okay, you try to provide everything to yourself and your family. But When you lift other people along with yourself, then you are considered a leader. That is the case with the lion. The lion protects the jungle from the other animals invading into the forest. So, lions are very strong and big. So, the lion crowned himself as the king of the forest. He was very happy and he was greedy. What is the new word that we come across here? Greedy. Sir, if you look at the next line, the meaning to greedy is given. Who is called as greedy? A person who wants more. Okay, the more he got, the more he wanted. That means what? Who is called as a greedy person? When we get something, if we wish for more, that is called greediness. When you find something, when you get something, if you are happy with that, if you are satisfied with that, you are called a content person, a satisfied person. But if you get something and if you want more of it, then you are called a greedy person. So our lion, though very strong and big and happy, is described as greedy. Now the lion wanted to have courtiers. Who are called as courtiers? C-O-U-R. Did you underline that word? Right. C-O-U-R-T-I-E-R-S. This is how we should learn the new words. Their spelling, their pronunciation, and their meaning and its usage. Who are called as courtiers? Courtiers are those people who counsel. Counsel means what? Advice. A king should also take the advice of people. He should make his own decision. He should take his own decision. But he should also listen to the advices of others. So, a group of people who advise king are called as counselors. Then people who are there in the king's court are called courtiers. Now, our lion wanted to have courtiers. So, whom did he choose as his courtiers? First, he called fox. What did we know about fox? Fox is considered as a wise animal. The lion told that, I have heard everyone in the forest calling you as wise. So, as you are wise, I make you as my courtier and you should always advise me. Okay, you should always advise me. You should be an advisor. I want you to be my advisor. He should always advise. Now, the king called leopard. What is leopard known for? The leopard is known for its fastness. I know you are very fast and alert. So, what did lion make leopard? Lion made leopard as a bodyguard. Now, the lion chose a third courtier. Who was the third courtier? The third courtier was a crow. Why? It is because the crow can fly and it can collect a message. It can give information to the lion. So, these three animals were chosen as courtiers. Fox, leopard and crow were chosen as the courtiers. Now they were very happy and they promised King Lion that they would always be of a great help to the king. And the King Lion also promised that he would take care of his courtiers. So whenever Lion went on hunting expedition with the advice of these people, so which direction to go, where a lot of food is available to hunt, this kind of information was provided by the messenger, fox and leopard. Then the lion will hunt that food and he'll eat it. And whatever is left after the king has eaten, these three animals would share. So in this way, everything was going fine and happy. Then one day, now the crow came and asked the king. What did the crow ask? Oh king, did you ever taste the meat of camel? Oh, the lion said, camel? I have never seen a camel. I have never tasted the meat of camel, said the lion. Then he asked the crow where they could find camel. Then the crow told that a few months back, few days ago, the crow flew across the desert. Where is the desert? The desert is away from the forest. Why? Where do forest grows? Forest grows in a place where there is abundant water, where there is good rainfall. So because of this rain, trees grow. When trees grow, animals comes, birds come. In this way a forest is created, an ecosystem is created. But in desert, no rain, no trees, so very little life. So the crow told, few days ago I flew over the desert and I saw a camel there. Okay, how was the camel? Big and fat. Now the lion asked his other courtiers for advice. Okay, now see, this is the problem. The fox and the leopard, they knew nothing about camel. They have never been out of the forest. But now, instead of telling the truth and being honest, what did the fox and the leopard do? They don't want their king to think that his courtiers knew nothing. So instead of being honest, they told, oh, what crow told is right. They lied to the king. What did they say? They told that the advice, whatever crow has told is a very good advice. Then they decided that the next day morning they are going to set out. What is the meaning of set out or set off? Set off means to start to go somewhere. So the next day morning they have decided to set off to the desert. Now the lion, the leopard and the fox, they have always lived under the shade of the trees in the forest. They have never come out of the jungle. But now when they were walking in the desert, the sun was very hot. The sun was scorching. He was giving out scorching heat. What is the new word that we came across here? Scorching. What is the meaning of scorching? Scorch means to burn. Burn by heating something. So to burn something by heating is called scorch. So as the sun was continuously falling on the sands of the desert, the sand became red hot and it started scorching the pass of the lion. So the lion found it very difficult to go in the desert. And as they were walking under the hot sun without shade, their body dehydrated. They started to feel thirsty. Then the king shouted, the lion shouted, stop! I don't want camel meat. Now the lion is no more interested in the camel meat because his life is in danger. The sun is scorching his pass, right? So he said, let's go back to the forest. But the forest is far behind. It's nowhere near. They can't even go back to the forest. If they try to go back to the forest, they'll all die with hunger and thirst. So the courtiers did not know how to take the exhausted lion. Again, we have come across a new word here, exhausted. Now, please, my dear children, in English language, any word that begins with EX gives the meaning of out. So exhausted means tired. Now you may ask me, sir, then what is the difference between tired and exhausted? Sir, when you are tired, you still have some energy left to work. For example, you are listening to the class continuously. Okay, what happens after some time? You get tired. When you are studying, you get tired. but still you continue to listen to the class. Still you continue to read the books. Why? Because it is necessary. But when do you say you are exhausted? When you are exhausted, you have no more energy left to do anything. Exhausted means totally burnt out. Okay, so the lion was exhausted, not tired. It was exhausted, but the fox was tired. How did we know? Immediately, what did the fox say? You please take some rest here. I'll go and bring some help. That means, is the fox exhausted? No. If the fox was also exhausted, it could not have made a single step. But the lion was exhausted. So the fox said, I'll get some help. Wait here. And wait here. I'll bring help. He ran off into the desert. And what did he find? He found a camel. Why did they set out into the desert? The king and the 3 courtiers have set out into the desert to find the camel, to eat the meat of the camel. But now, when the lion was exhausted in the desert, the fox came to find help. Whom did it find? It found camel. So now let us see what happens. What will the camel do? Okay, what happens to the camel? How will the lion act? All these things we shall learn in our next class. Okay, so until the next class, take care. Thank you so much. Love you all.